So this weekend, I decided to go to a few museums, out of which a couple were related to modern art and contemporary art. And I thought I'd just make a video discussing about the opinions of modern art, because I know that there's a whole thing about modern art being a money laundering scheme. So I thought I'll take a objective position and talk about some of the pieces at least that interested me, and also talk about how a lot of pieces that just seemed like a scam to me. So I'll get that out of the way first, and I'm going to be talking about modern and contemporary art and abstract art specifically in this particular video. And to be honest, in the contemporary art museum, 90% of the pieces, at least to me, now again this is a personal opinion, felt like a scam. It just felt like something that has just been made with no imagination, with effort, like effortfully put together lack of imagination. And I don't know if that was made to make it stand out, or if that was intentionally done so, or if that was actually a money laundering scheme. I'm not sure, but it was actually pure bullshit. Talking about some of the few pieces that I did like. So, in the Contemporary Art Museum, there was this one piece which was basically about capital, like the concept of seeing a capital. It was called Das Kapital Raum, and it is Boyce's piece, which is basically a revolutionary stand on what the meaning of capital is. Now, the word capital here refers to how the current society views money. Basically, it's how you measure wealth. It's how you measure something that moves society forward. And the current view on what capital is basically based on monetary value. But Boyce's piece on the Das Capital Realm is actually a compilation of multiple small elements. Like, you might notice the blackboards in the background, or the piano sitting at the corner silently, and an axe, and a lot of film production materials just lying around. And the blackboards themselves are actually full of scrambles and ramblings of an artist. Now, what does any of this mean? I obviously did not understand any of this while I'm actually there, but I had to research about it myself, and then I got a meaning out of it. But basically, Boyce introduces a new concept of capital, a meaning made out of art, made out of how much production value you have, how much creativity you have. And that is what the blackboards and piano and every other element in this particular piece refers to. The blackboards are a landscape through which Boyce tries to show basically a portrait of ideas. The ramblings on the blackboard are trying to showcase how your thought process actually goes, and how scattered it might seem from a distance. But when you go and take a look closer, you see that it actually makes sense, that there is a pattern to this rambling. The silent piano in the corner is actually a representation of untapped potential. It is an action yet to be taken, hence the silence. And the axe represents the necessity of that action to be taken. Because as the action of raising an axe and then and then making it come down, that's how you move forward with your actions. Because there's no taking back once the axe has been raised and has started its descent. And that's what's required for our society to move forward. That is what the axe means. The film projectors lying around on the stage is actually it's actually supposed to showcase the entire piece as a stage of something that is your life. It's supposed to be, I know it might seem like bullshit, but that is the meaning that at least I took from it. That it's supposed to showcase that how your life has multiple small components, and all of it comes together to form a project, a media. And that is why everything in this is about, it's about creation, it's about potential yet to be taken. And that is what Boyce's opinion is, that capital should be about. It's not about monetary value. It's about untapped potential. It's about a person's ability to create. The next few pieces are actually abstract art, and I'll start with something that's called Tales for W. Turner. Tales for W. Turner is a piece by Fred Taylor. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But it's so in a lot of these pieces, and actually all of the pieces that I'm going to be talking about, it's not so much about the painting that's important, but it's about the dynamic of the painting that is important. Because a lot of Eastern artists, from what I understand, have focused on making an abstract painting as a dynamic art, where the practice of making this painting itself, the methods used are the art. I don't know how to phrase it any better, but just the motion of making that art. No, so now suppose this piece I'm showing you, Tales for W. Turner. It's actually actually made from something called drip painting, and you can see it's like skies dissolving into color, and it's about emotions and radiant storms which translate into pure atmosphere, and all of this is made by dripping paint over the canvas, and it becomes sort of a harmony of dripped paint which is supposed to represent certain emotions. Next piece I want to show is Aru 5 by Willy Baumeister. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. So it's basically a dark form in the center of the painting. It's like a magnetic core, which is both a void and a source. Around it, you can see limbs made out of small colored patches, and it's supposed to represent like a cosmic dance between emptiness and emergence, between the pull of mystery and the push of creation. The next piece is called T 1957-15, which basically denotes the year of the piece and the number, which number of piece it is made in that particular year. And it's a piece by Hans Hartung, and it basically strikes like a flash across silence. This particular piece is rather than being a painting, it's a gesture itself. The gesture itself is the subject of the painting, where sweeping black marks that record movements and energy on the painting, as you can see. It's supposed to be an inscription. It's supposed to be a visible force. At least that's what the painter wanted it to be. But I found it quite interesting about how you can check out other paintings by this particular artist, Hans Hartung, and you can see that all his paintings are a particular black sweeps on a canvas, and all of them have different unique intonations, at least from what I understand. The last piece I want to talk about is called Center der Dominanz. Now, this piece by Judith Regal is supposed to be energy in orbit. It's supposed to be strokes circling around, colliding and converging on a supposedly gravitational heart of the painting. In the canvas, you can see there's tension, as if the paint itself is spiraling towards the center, that both anchors and releases. And what I found personally interesting about the painting is that, to me, I can see a figure of an old man facing away with chaos inside his mind. That is the center of the painting, and I can see, at least I saw that there's a figure of an old tired man that is looking away from you, and that made sense when I looked at the name of the painting as well, where the center of the dominance is often the most loneliest part.